So this is my third attempt to record this, and we will see if the hackers allow me to finish it. It's becoming more and more apparent who's behind all of the hacking, as to who, you know, cuts off and delays certain messages and, thwarts certain comments from posting and whatnot. Anyways, this is the second part of a reading I did. Tried to record it earlier, but it kept shutting off. So I'd like to get this message out, and I will try it. I'm just reading for the general energy of the Divine Masculine. I'd like to say twin flame journey, but although this read says that my twin flame does the right thing and chooses his best future and 10 grips, I've yet to see that happen. So, man, to being somebody else that is a smart man in the matter. Anyways, so if you watch the first part, I don't really want to hold this the whole time. Yeah, maybe I will. So basically, it's a continuation of the other video. And I've got choice, Queen of Earth, and self. When I looked at this, I thought, that seems like sort of selfish, but in this case and the way these cards fell in this read, it is actually ends up being quite the opposite. And then King of Fire and the King of Air under there. I was thinking that, that the King of Fire and the King of Air could possibly mean a choice between two, but as I wrote notes, it didn't really seem to mean that. So the first one is the choice card, and it's actually the full card, traditional deck, and this is a Dreams of Gaia tarot by, I believe her name's Raylene or Rayanne Phelan. So the choice card, zero choice, which is the Fool card generally, stands for options, opportunity, free will, self-determination, mindfulness, manifestation, cause and effect, karma, clearing karma, correcting decisions to correct karma, rewards versus consequences. There's consequences either way, but if you do choose to step in and do the right thing, sometimes in a situation, it can actually clear some of that karma and bring mercy for any sort of consequences that may result from actions. And that's Ivan. I love you, Ivan. Can I pet you later? Okay, let's just read this. So potential blockage, he's not gonna let me, be procrastination. Poor thing, he's had to sit out in the car in 0 degrees, do the nefarious action of a bunch of wannabe thugs. You can look at my videos to see more of that story, but the whole thing is getting cleared, and these wolves in sheep's clothing are being exposed. And these nefarious people that, felt the need to judge me and put me on a cross for no reason, except for to cover up their own mishaps, thefts, frauds, liabilities, mistakes, etc., etc., decided to take it out on me, but they haven't taken me and they're not going to. And something's going to happen here soon, and either I'm going to move on and disappear, or something's going to intervene and I will get my chance to shine and live out the destiny that I was born into. Anyways, where were we? Procrastination can be a potential blockage. And choice creates reality. Belief is a choice. And action also is. I don't want to get too into details because I'm not trying to speak for anyone here. I just have questions. And it's just basically what came out in these cards and in the book and in the read. And so I'm not really trying to bring judgment on anyone. Trying to be objective rather than subjective with it, and just state it as it is and read the questions that came to me to whoever it may apply to, whoever has ears to hear, and whoever wants to operate in wisdom and choose to take this in that way. Some may apply and some may not, and that's up to you because I don't know your situation. So anyways, an action also is a choice. It should be your choice. Past influences determine choice. Weighing options and choosing wisely. And taking action to stop procrastination is one choice. I'm going to bring this back up since Ivan's laying on the floor now. Where was I? So awareness empowers. Be responsible for your choices. Again, you're being capitalized and underlined. Being at a crossroads, putting the past behind and looking towards the future. Ask yourself if your decision is being influenced, possibly by others, by another relationship or situation. It's complicated and understandable, but still looking at the long term and the future ahead. What is the best thing for you? Choices creating present and future reality. Is it for good or for ill? For yourself, for others, for the collective, for those that are close to you that you love? And what impact on you and others is your choice bringing about? Balancing light and dark there with the two colored faces. And then Queen of Earth. I love the buffalo head in this one. So Queen of Earth is Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Discs. I don't usually like to call out zodiac signs and, be like you're Virgo or Taurus or, Capricorn or whatever. But like, just because like we all have different signs and most of the signs in our charts often. So I guess since I posted part of my military birth certificate, I can say that I'm a Virgo, rising and ascent, and have my moon in Capricorn, and I've got Libra in 3 major placements, and I'm not going to get into any others. Scorpio in a major placement, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus. Yeah. So anyone using my birth charts is going to receive the judgment for that, and any of my birth charts used in a nefarious way or any other BS will be returned to center multiplication. So, and they know that. They know that. So anyways, let's just read on the Queen of Earth as it relates to choice. Put these closer so you can see them, the 3 together, and then as they kind of do relate to one another and tell a story. Sorry about my device and its squeakiness. It's bad. So, okay, so Queen of Earth, Pentacles, Discs, Earth resources, money. All right. Creation, of course, if you know a little bit about, the Earth sign and Pentacles and whatnot. But Earth Mother, Gaia, the Magdalene energy, pragmatic, real, kind, mirror, reflecting of self, nurturing, abundant, fertile, wise, creates with her hands, male or female male or female gender, female energy, supportive of self, which the self card came out next. But they made a beautiful natural progression. The second part's why I really want to get it out. Seeking out the mother, the wise, the honest, the trusted, counsel. And that could be like counsel concerning the mother or counsel with the mother. But the Queen of Earth, Queen of Pentacles, makes you feel loved and supported. Mothered but not smothered. I believe those were her words out of the book, and I like them. Mothered but not smothered. So equal reciprocity and equal give or take. Sharing of responsibilities. It's really rare to find that in a connection. I am reading this like as a Divine Counterpart sort of a read. Otherwise, it would have sort of different meanings. But in this read and the continuation of the last read, it is in the terms of a relationship read and a Divine Counterpart read. It should be a twin flame read, but I don't know. Well, we shall see on that one. So anyways, like I stated in the last one, the twin flame relationship is ideal, and quite often other ones won't work because that relationship was put into place before, foundations of the earth for this time in history, for a certain time, for a certain purpose, I mean. Okay, where was I? So, the Queen of Earth, she is a gardener. She, gardener, practical worker, grounded choice, creates and manages a warm and inviting home, supports an action of endeavors. So, like, more than just saying, I support you, but like supporting in action with a manifestation of that furthering endeavors. So she comes to ask you if this is how you see yourself. Are you currently balanced, connected to your true nature? Do you enjoy your home life? Do you truly feel at home in your home? Is it your sanctuary? Is it a place of rest and recharge? Or is it draining you? And then the self card came after that, which I feel like these two tie, those questions I just asked tie with this. I like the three doves, the two dragons, the blue rose, even though that's botanically not possible, although they've come close. As far as I know, like, I know so many years ago, they've never been able to create a blue rose. I don't think they can. They've been trying for many, many years. They can come close with a purplish one, But I don't know what the significance would be in this self card. Possibly, maybe magical. Maybe the magic of it. Creating something that doesn't exist or something. So anyway, self card. I am true identity, self-realized, self-manifested, and that does pertain to a mirror or a twin flame relationship centered for life purpose. Your unique identity supported, being free of definitions, labels, constraints, others' agendas, being a perfect peace. Can you fully accept what is, could be? Has your past shaped you? And everyone's does. So basically, is a situation or what you want out of life? Is it helping you to recover and grow from your past? Do you feel understood concerning your past, or your just person in general, yourself in general? Identity is fluid and changing, or can be and should be evolving. You are master of yourself. So, definitely, like, other people that influence can actually, like, block or hinder that or support it. Are you trying to fit in with the wrong crowd? Who do you wish to become? Path of loving, expansion, evolution of your making, manifestation, continuing to let go of herd mentality and making that more of a thing. What's your reason for being? And are you in your true authenticity? So then, after that, along with these, came out the King of Fire and the King of Air. Doesn't definitely have to have anything to do with gender, but more like energies. And I'm not gonna say exactly how many points. Again, trying to protect my Ashcatter records, which are protected anyways. But I personally, as female, have about twice as many masculine points in my chart as feminine. And it's been thwarted a lot in my life as I've been very targeted, but like, that's really the true nature that I embody. And we are coming into a time where those constraints and those boundaries and harvesting and vamping and whatnot, and stolen destiny, all that stuff is going to come into recompense. I do declare it. So, King of Fire versus King of Air. I thought at first this was like a choice between two individuals, and it could be, but maybe not. So, King of Fire is basically the masculine energy of being proactive, dauntless, inspirational, vital, powerful, charismatic, involved. Well, it could involve fire signs. Grounding and focus on passion. More than an idea person, every leader part of a team. Delegation, respecting a position by respecting others. charismatic, a team leader, lion-hearted, a vital heartbeat of his court, top food chain, right? Working tirelessly to fulfill a role, question mark. Yeah, speaking of the lion, top food chain stuff, you know, it's like sigma male, sigma female, how sometimes like maybe perhaps a connection is difficult to find if you embody one of those. It can be like, I don't know, I'll just use an example. I have a hard time being with a dude that like can't drive as well as me, and I drive pretty damn well. So but it bugs me and annoys me, and I find it unattractive, and it might be kind of petty, but like, you know, some of those things we have to like realize like they are in place for a reason, you know what I mean? I'm gonna bring this choice down here too, since I don't know if this does have to do with choice or not, but I mean, anyways, it was part of this little grouping. So sigma counterparts, and basically are you working tirelessly to fulfill a role? The wisdom of knowing that even leaders must be part of a team. There's that whole saying about, you know, one can banish 1,000 the pit and two can banish 10,000, or like, even if we're not thinking about banishing, like, you know, evil energies, you know, one can like support and build up 1,000, and two can support and build up 10,000, something like that. And so then versus King Bear, which could have to do with some, you know, some air signs. Personally, like I said, I've got Libra in 3 major positions. Well, 2 are like major and like one's a little more minor, but I've got three placements, Libra and 3 placements. So, you know, in my story, and if you followed my story and you want to look more into it, basically it's like a you know, fight for justice, and it's something that's kind of been forced on me. It's been a rough road, but like, you know, just believing and hoping that that a better tomorrow will come out of the whole thing, and that things will change and true justice will be established. Something I pray for daily. I would recommend that, you know, all the rest of you also say that as a prayer, that true justice be established and workers of true justice be empowered and supported. So anyways, I'm the King of Air, the masculine embodiment of air, of which also is like mental energy. So it's, I think that fire, swords, and air is wands, and so like mental, astral, 5D, which is part of the twin flame journey if you're on it. Anyways, so the astral realm, the mental space, the you know, the subconscious, conscious, subconscious. Anyways, so King of Air is disciplined and ethical, commanding. That also plays into the justice part of it all. Forceful, precise, execution, rule oriented. Sort of like reminds me of the Hierophant card a little bit. Protecting tradition a bit, but being respectful about it. Time for ethical behavior and action. No compromise question. So it's a question to ask yourself concerning things or a choice, or, you know, even your own personal choice of how to operate, or choice with a situation, relationship, or whatever life path. Is there compromise? Are you compromising? Question mark. So no compromise. And why are you pushing boundaries? What's the motive behind that? Sometimes we push boundaries and we are in a self-defense mode and we feel the need to be defensive. So it's good to like ask ourselves, why are we in this place, and can we do anything to protect that so that our best selves can shine and we can be proactive and on the offense rather than defense. And, you know, I feel like more gets accomplished that way, right? So anyways, what's the motive behind pushing boundaries, if indeed that is a thing that's going on for you? Judgment free of emotional impediment, and that has a question mark as well. So it's a good thing to ask and evaluate of yourself. So basically, the King of Air is a just and fair judge and leader. Compassion from spiritual beliefs, education, knowledge, and wisdom from life's experiences. So even, as opposed to that being a choice between two certain individuals or situations, it can also be a connection concerning like the twin flame divine counterpart thing of two, sigmas, two strong individuals coming together that embody masculine energy and stepping into their masculine energy. I had like a Gustav Klimt sort of a reading that had a card like that came up, and I didn't believe that it related to two male genders together, but more so to individuals operating together in a, strong, oh gosh, what's the word I'm trying to look for? Somebody that take charge energies, I guess, right? Energies of action and whatnot. Ivan's back, so pardon me if my screen goes all wonky again. So anyways, yeah, so perhaps like with your twin flame or divine counterpart connection, one will embody the king of fire more and one will embody the king of air more, and that could possibly represent balance and a very productive connection. Ivan. Yeah, and which kind of makes sense. And then also the eagles in here, which I love that as well. And the king of air. Go eagle, go eagle. Alrighty. Yeah, like so if you've got a king of fire and a king of air in connection, you've got basically the passionate, inspiring leader and motivator. That the motive behind that, or with that, along with it, alongside of that, is basically for justice, just fair leadership coupled with charismatic and passionate leadership. Seems like a super big win-win, right? So basically, I don't know if I said this, the King of Air leads in the place of compassion from a spiritual belief, coupled with education, coupled with knowledge, and coupled with wisdom. So I guess couple word doesn't work there when you're talking about four different things, but the connection of belief, education, knowledge, and wisdom. Five things, I guess, as it pertains to life experiences, putting all of those things together to create a leadership that's just and fair. I think that's like kind of a cool concept, right? So anyways, I'm going to move to this groupie and have the 9 of fire that came out with healing and perception underneath. Now, if you watch the first part of this reading, it started out with intuition. It sort of relates to perception, but a little bit different. So, first off, the 9 of fire. Again, these could relate to zodiac signs, but not necessarily. It may just be the energy of fire here. He's holding a rose over his throat chakra, and also his sacral chakra is definitely like highlighted. And when it comes to twin flame connection, I feel like that is a big part of it, is sacral chakra connection. And then his third eye is opened as well as he holds this rose. So anyways, 9 of fire, attainment, fruition, inspired action, creation and manifestation, something that's easy and naturally falls into place, detachment from restrictions, time to move through life with confidence, do not seek praise or affirmation, and if you are, why do you feel the need to do that? Finish, close cycles, move on, simplify life, tasks and goals. Are you overcomplicating? Question mark. Is the situation efficient? Question mark. Is it taking twice as much effort? Question mark. Are you striving? Question mark. Are you buried under unnecessary weight? Question mark. Are you healing? Which the healing card came out right after this as well. Are you servant to conditions, requirements, and expectations? And if so, for yourself! Exclamation point. So on that 9 of fire came healing and perception, as it ties into what was on the bottom of the deck and the main thought behind the read, which was intuition. guiding twin flame journey. So healing. I'm gonna pull this up for a minute because I do think that there's really important the snake on the staff symbol, and as that pertains to stories from the Old Testament and Hebrew lineage. It's also got I thought there were 2 frogs, but there's actually 3 because there's one sneaking up on that staff there. But you got some froggies up in the mix as well. So anyways, there he is. He looks Scando. This deck is a bit Scando anyways. So healing, release, purification, curses being broken, ancestral karma being overcome, redeeming of bloodlines, forgiveness in order to transform, releasing fear, clearing and cleansing of infection. I feel like that can be a physical thing, or it can also be a metaphorical thing, and also they do relate to one another, as we know that our consciousness, subconsciousness, does play a huge role in the manifestation of what is going on in our physical body. So physical, emotional, metaphorical cleansing of infections. To be human is to be wounded. Excuse me. And also in reference to a connection, a twin flame divine counterpart connection, we can embrace and heal together. And I feel like that is something that when these connections come together will bring that forth for the world in general and the next generations. And so it's time to connect the whole person, the Mani, the bind. Sorry, I meant to say body, mind, and spirit. So are all of those parts being addressed? And if so, why not? And maybe that should be a thing. Again, I'm not like really trying to like talk anyone into anything here. This is just what's coming out for me. And looking in the mirror, also like I want to make sure that like, if in fact I don't end up being the lonely little prophetess my entire life, isolated, and I do have a forever person, that I want to make sure that my situation also addresses and fulfills and nurtures and evolves me in all areas of my life, the whole person. Excuse me. So, I should probably drink water before I do these. My throat's kind of dry. It is winter and the heat is on. It's super cold outside. So, nurture passions, seek pleasure, find your bliss. Bliss capitalized, of course. Your bliss is waiting for you. And so, the question to ask yourself is, do you laugh enough? Are you laughing enough? Do you want to laugh more? I don't know why that came out of this book, but it did. Knocking out dis-ease at its source. And that was in connection with laughter, because laughter is the best medicine. And laughter can heal, but also dis-ease can prevent laughter and that whole like giddy spirit of celebration and dancing and being happy and enjoying life. And that will bring you into a realm of lengthening and strengthening your life. So, I mean, quite literally, like, this stuff's really important, and it can make or break you. It can, bring forth life or destroy life. Is interesting because I saw a little short and I didn't watch it, but just because, like, I looked at it and I was like, yeah, things can't, things aren't always what they seem. So many people are like too quick to look at the surface, but like, it was like, men, stop dating broke women in 2023. But like, until you really know a person, you have no idea what they embody. And wealth and having grips and talents and pentacles is, like some of it may be buried, undeveloped, and may definitely come through as the right relationship and supportive connection is brought into alignment. So things aren't what they seem, and some of the most powerful, talented, gifted, resourceful people right now are very targeted, and they are trying to be taken out for their voice. And some of us are indeed financial targeted individuals, where we quite literally have put a lot of work into what in the past were very successful and profitable ventures, so but then just to basically have them vamped by karmic energies, and have our kindness taken for weakness and be taken advantage of and stolen from, quite literally. Having our ideas taken and used by people that were willing to walk over others. So I don't know, when I saw that little short, I was like, that kind of maybe seems like a bit of a karmic view on that sort of a thing, and like a desperate plea to look at what's in somebody's bank account. It don't matter, because like people get rich AF and be successful on top of the world. Be like multimillionaires, which, like, I don't know, I was thinking of MC Hammer in the 80s, or so it'd be like more like billionaires these days. Lose it all and end up in debt, like extreme debt, with all that money, and have nothing and have less and have a whole lot more debt than somebody that might not have anything in the bank right now due to situational things that need to be corrected. And that's about to change. Transfer of wealth is about to happen, and recompense is on its way. So anyways, I don't know, I started rambling about that short. It's ridiculous. I might have to look at it. The women just look big mouth and angry to me, so no offense. Hopefully she doesn't see this, or whoever else is trying to use that as a desperate plea. Anyways, where the heck was I? I like really went off course here with that. Not where I wanted to go, and why I said it, I don't know. So we were at, is it lengthening and strengthening your life, and move past the unchangeable past. Step into the highest future potential. Things aren't what they seem, basically, is really just how I should have left that whole thing. Things are not what they seem. And they're going to be brought back into divine, correct alignment. And stolen destinies are going to be returned. And, those that were meant to be profitable and have birthrights that have been taken from them, they're going to get them back. So balance in the bank, and how much cash you have to show for at this point, assets, all that's about to change. So anyways, so move past the unchangeable past and step into the highest potential for your future, the highest future potential. Shifting attention so past pain doesn't have to hurt others or continue to bring you down. And then perception was after that, and the last card to end this second part of this reading. It's kind of an interesting, like, really dark card. And so it's a black angel. It's got a sword. But yeah, so perception. And I don't know how that contrasts with intuition. You'd have to look at the other read to sort of see that. So perception, understanding, will being understood, and a world's view on things. I don't know, this perception person looks like very powerful. Maybe perhaps it's like the power of it all, and also like tapping into sometimes your dark energy and your shadow self to acknowledge it and release it. But so your opinion of yourself, do you have clarity of your opinion of yourself? And are you looking at things objectively? What are your senses telling you to do? Question mark. Is your knowledge or understanding limited? Question mark. Like, do you have all the facts concerning a situation? Or in some cases, perhaps, have you been misled because of other people's intentions and motivations and just basically falsehoods, some of the light ones and the chosen have that, I mean, basically had their names smeared and, like I said earlier, like nailed to a cross when they didn't deserve it, put under judgment, and and it ended up being a whole lot of false stuff. So then people create more falsehoods to, like, try to cover up their falsehoods, and just end up being exposed in the end anyways. And it's gonna happen. The truth is gonna be seen, and lies are gonna be exposed, and true intentions are going to be exposed. Masks and cloaks are going to go down and be dropped, and things are going to be seen for what they really are, and people's true intentions are going to be seen. This is a day of reckoning. Hope your house is in order. If not, you probably should get it in order quickly. So anyways, I don't know why I got into that either, but is your perception clouded? And then also looking in the mirror, and that can be looking at yourself, and then when it relates to a twin flame counterpart person, a healthy mirror is one that brings out the best in the other person in the best way possible. And actually, like, I guess like that's where the sword imagery comes in. It's a double-edged sword, and it reminds me of that scripture that's basically like iron sharpens iron. So with the right counterpart, that can be done in a graceful manner and in a productive and healthy and encouraging sort of a manner. And two people, even, though there might be a little bit of like fencing or dueling or whatever, it can be healthy. And, like I said, iron sharpens iron. And sometimes that's the job of a twin flame divine counterpart and the mirror. We do that for ourselves, but we can also do that for the highest good of others. Speaking of that, that was on the next line. Are you taking the high ground? Question mark for the highest good? Question mark. So who is influencing your perception? Do you have all the facts? Question mark. Are you representing yourself honestly? Question mark. And our lives can be destroyed in an instant for passing the correct opportunity. You can make or break you. It can make or break you. And that is the end of my notes. So I suppose that is the end of the reading. I don't know if I'll do this one separately. I'll just show you these other cards that I ended up pulling after this. I didn't really look into it any further. A lot of times when I do go with the Thoth, it's sort of like a pretty extensive study, and especially being that I'm into color. Hang on, I gotta turn this light on. That, like I said, if there was a superpower that relates to color, like colorvoyance, I don't know. I need to research that and see if that's a thing. I don't know. Color personally inspires me. I used to teach early childhood art and color theory to preschoolers. Probably why I called it violet flame, the blue violet flame. But anyways, yeah, I do actually get into the manuals, into the symbolism of the Thoth more. But after I, pulled those ones out again, I just ended up pulling a few out, and this is what came out. And I pulled out Lemurians first, and then it was interesting because when I pulled out the Thoths, again, they color coordinated. And so I just might read these or some of the Lemurian cards in connection to the cards that went along with them and coordinated and fell in place with them and laid down with them. So I feel like this is where I started with it. And then also, so peace was at the bottom of the deck, the Two of Swords. Yes, those are interesting symbols in there, and yes, they are often misunderstood symbols, but moving on. Okay, so this was the first Lemurian card that came out, and it was Beyond the Mind. The mind moves us through the logics of life so we can function in the world. However, endless mental chatter, self-doubt, limiting stories, and subconscious programs can keep us in our suffering. Step outside mind-based limitations. Looking at things in an overly logical way will hinder you and obstruct access to your superpowers. The past may be running you and making your mind spin so you cannot see what is really in front of you. Consider what your heart and gut are telling you. What would the situation at hand feel like if you released all fears and worries? Are these concerns even yours? Beyond the Mind. And then, as I laid out the Thoth, after I laid those out, the Six of Wands, Victory, came out with Beyond the Mind. And then the second Lemurian card, which is a really beautiful card. mermaid with a heart, and I love it. Okay, so, and it was luminescence. When we journey through life from our hearts, it illuminates the darkness, illusions drop away, and we see what is real. Consider the parts of yourself you may not be accepting. You may be experiencing inner dissonance due to what you're trying to push away. This card is about self-love, deep, compassionate, unconditional love that brings you into wholeness. Luminescence means essence of light. Nothing shines like a heart emanating with love. You can shine through the shadows most gracefully when there is no fear within. Accept all your shades and allow more light and love inside and out of your world. And when I did my thoth spread and laid them out, and the positions they laid out, what went under that was the Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Discs in the reverse, meaning failure. In the reverse, it's opposite of failure is success. And I don't know, maybe at the end of this I'll look into that. I feel like only like 2 were in the reverse, which the other awesome one that ended in the reverse was the Hangman, and so that's cool. Right? All right, and then this one also came out. Trust your inner sense. Sometimes it can be hard to decipher between intuition and what our mind is telling us. Stories, projections, or fear can arise under the guise of intuition. To distinguish truthful inner guidance from paranoia, we must return to innocence. Return to innocence. Oh yeah, Enigma. I want to expand. Okay, to our purest essence. Here we have access to the truth of our being. Honesty is more than not lying to yourself. It is also about not withholding and having deep transparency within yourself. Learn to trust and be absolutely honest with yourself. In your heart of hearts, you hold the answers and notice the first thoughts you have before your second guess yourself. Listen and honor these. Since I saw myself in my story, particular person of interest, a couple years ago, I have indeed been rocking the Enigma ever since. So anyways, and under that was the Seven of Swords, futility. Again, with certain specific symbolism in the background that's often misunderstood. So I don't know, if I get a chance after I read the Lemurian and show you these cards, perhaps I will look up some of the ones in the Thoth if I've got some time. And then I pulled 3 more Lemurians, but for some reason this one is Mount Shasta, and it kind of like, I don't know, ended up separate in this grouping of these. So Mount Shasta, aware Lemuria would be destroyed as people traveled to other parts of the globe. So possibly like a connection in different parts of the globe, different hemispheres, perhaps even maybe. Mount Shasta was one place they journeyed. There are tales of unusual phenomena and multidimensional beings living inside the mountain. This card is about origins, and the image is the seed crystal this deck is based around. Honor and look more deeply into your ancestry, both your bloodline and your etheric lineage. Do you have any affinity with any star beings? Connecting with them might allow you greater insight into your traits, your strengths and challenges. The sacred places you feel attracted to may have an intuitive message for you. And so under that was the Prince of Swords. God, that same imagery. It all relates to the Black Eagle. Oh my God. And the Priestess in the upright. And then under that, as I, did some clarifications, I got this grouping of cards, and they all kind of seem to coordinate together and work together. But as I sort of clarified these 3, I got the Fool, which we had that in that other part of the reading. Queen of Swords, again, with that same imagery that relates to the Black Eagle. And the Death card, ending of a cycle. So, yeah. I don't know how that resonates for you personally, but it does for somebody. And then it's beautiful. All chakras cleared and aligned. And it is the healing card, so that makes sense. The Lemurians were healers and naturally intuitive and accustomed to navigating energetic-based realities. We all have natural healing abilities that are advanced when we deepen our energetic awareness. When we perceive the world beyond the more well-known senses, we start to receive information and wisdom different from that which stems from intellect. By tapping into life force consciousness and using this abounding energy alongside focused intention, we realize that anything is possible. Extend the margins of your awareness, revisit a situation from a broader perspective or higher vibration with a focus on healing. Perhaps the issue is simply an outdated or limiting perception placement. I don't know if I read that right. Perhaps the issue is simply an outdated or limiting perception placement. You have the ability to align to a fresh new timeline inspired by wholeness. I feel like this is significant for somebody's. For myself personally, I'll take that. We could all use some healing, right? Yeah, it's beautiful. She did such a beautiful job. What's this girl's name? Izzy Ivy. It's a fun name. She did such a good job on these cards. I love them so much. All right, and also being somebody that does have some, bloodline and ancestry from, Athens. I'm sorry, not Athens. Oh my gosh, why is it not coming to me? Atlantis, and Lemuria, they're related. Okay, and so the Power card, the Four of Pentacles, the Four of Discs is what was under the Healing card. Perhaps I'll divulge into that a little bit more later on. And then the last Lemurian card, and this looks like a bit of a twin flame card to me as well, with a goddess at the bottom. But what does it mean? It stands for fire. Yes, Solaris Sublime. We live in a dualistic world, bringing light and dark into balance, and being real with our humanness can allow us to reach more joy. So I want to say in this reading, just like to pause really quick, aside from fire signs and making it about that, the twin flame journey is about fire and being someone's fire, as well as like the illuminated ones, that being an important symbol for alchemy and illumination, fire. Okay, so anyways, we live in a dualistic world, bringing light and dark into balance, and being real with our humanness can allow us to reach more joy, authenticity, and depth. By accepting and loving all of ourselves as we are, we can extend more of this love and have greater compassion for others. This painting portrays the balanced dance of creation. As the dragons come together, they dissolve into one with all that is. In this place of coalescence, both sides fuse in oneness, not just as reemerging with the universe, but as an alchemical process of becoming the empowered creator force we truly are. So I don't know what spells Divine Counterparts, twin flame connections, more than what I just read there with that. And look how beautifully it actually coordinated with the Chariot. And I swear to you, this is where these laid when I just like laid them all out in order and pulled them out and they flew out of the deck. But yes, the Chariot along with that. So is the twin flame in movement, and is that Chariot coming forth? We shall see, right? Time shall tell. For me personally, I'm running out of time with that situation. Okay. And then I also pulled a couple more out just to sort of like clarify. I don't know. I was thinking potential blockages, past energies, very present, possibly, or past. And what I got was adjustment alongside the devil. And devil's got balls and screwed. So I think that there may be some family, I'm not going to say issues, family considerations, let's say, as part of some of these complicated situations and realignment of connections, relationships, and things. It's really tough when you got kiddos. Oh my God. Yeah, like a good person, a real man will definitely like try to do what's best for his kiddos and doesn't want to hurt his kiddos. But sometimes, as you don't know at the time, but the future will tell, perhaps it can end up being healthier for said kiddos in the end of things, and so I'm not trying to speak of anyone in particular. That's just kind of what came to my mind. I'm not trying to think of, you know, I only know limited things about my situation. I'm not Snoopy and I haven't investigated things. I just know intuition, and, you know, like, I don't get caught up in gossip, and so I don't, you know, I don't know if what I've heard applies to me, but some stuff that I do hear does kind of, I don't know, strike a chord internally, I guess you could say. I really like this sort of like surrealistic, sort of Escher-ish like art in the background of this, and it looks like we've got some Egypt representation as well there. Dancers in the testes. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know. It could be like a snake charmer sort of energy. Who knows? Okay, and so then I did want to clarify. These just flew out, and basically, like, I don't know, sort of like past or blockages. This is sort of like possibly future. I don't like, you know, foretell the future with these readings, or seek to know the future or foretell it. I just take it for what it is, and, you know, I'm just starting to do this and learning about it more, and so I've never foretold the future. I've been given a gift of prophecy, but it's more of just simplicity of proclaiming word of truth, and it's more of a compassionate connection I've had with people, where I was able to speak to certain situations in their life that perhaps I didn't know about, but just perceived on an empathetic and compassionate level. And they were more like words of encouragement and support, not like calling somebody out on their circumstances, but the encouragement and support seemed to address a situation in their life, is what they would tell me afterwards, you know. Like, it was basically just like, you know, Spirit saying, you know, give this person a certain word of encouragement, let them know, you know, like, and I'm not one to give out advice either. You know, if somebody asks for it, then I might try to see, but like, it was basically like, you know, kind of sort of like, I guess, advice, but not, you know. But anyways, so these are the last cards that flew out, and I got super stoked about it because the sun just flew. I thought I was done, but like, as I was going to put them away, freaking sun flipped out, and like, the sun was like, I want to be seen. And yeah, again, you know, laying the bottom of the deck, peace, 2 swords, along with the sun, which also has a representation of dual. And look, they're dancing on a mountaintop, and there's like 2 cherubs, so it kind of looks like, you know, sort of like a divine connection that would bring forth illumination and light. I can't really tell, but it seems like a lot of the zodiac is represented all around that as well. So anyways, the sun card, and then the universe card, which is the world and completion. I don't know a ton about it, but I do know that it's true. So the sun, completion, and the hangman in the reverse. So I don't know if I'm feeling like getting into looking up any more thought and all the symbolism and the colors and the meanings. It's very extensive. I've got 2 manuals, and it's interesting because this, like, it's like seems to be more of a like comprehensive one, but I feel like I learned more personally from the other one. It's, you know, this is like sort of detailed information. These are really good books if you don't have them and you want to learn more. And they actually do have a lot of the sort of, oh, come on now, give you lots of room for notes in the end. But it's extensive, and it's got geography and you know, like Hebrew, and but it also does have like zodiac and color, like, you know, connections, correlations, and partially why I really like it. Like I said, I'm like into color, and that's one of my languages I speak. And then this one, though, it seemed to be less extensive, you know, but actually were like maybe easier to read, but I feel like I learned a lot more from it because it has each of the symbols broken down and it's really easy to use. And so I really like it, you know. And then sometimes you can find, like, I've got some crescent moon in some of my heraldry. Martin, I believe it's, I don't know, Martin's Dutch or has Dutch connections, but like I know I've got crescent moon in that family crest. And so whenever I see something with a crescent moon, it seems to speak to me, and it also relates to the Holy Grail. And then also with the Chariot, the Grail is brought here. Grail and spirituality, this is steering wheel and a target. So anyways, it's kind of cool. This is a really cool book, and it's I like it. I prefer it. So yeah, I recommend it. I don't know what was it. Oh, the universe. Universe would be at the end of the Arcana. Major Arcana. Oh, passed it up. Just look at that one really quick. I'm gonna stop though right before this is an hour. What the Fool. There we go. The universe. Let's pull this card out. We don't have to. It's here. So, anyways, just show you this reference of this. A dancer on foot with the head of a snake, body of equilibrium in the middle of the picture, pendulum and sickle emphasize quality of time altogether. Also a picture for the never-ending braided ribbon of evolution, for the development from being to consciousness, which kind of does relate to the whole spread, especially the two put together. You got the pendulum and the sickle, so it's got some harvest there. Like clockwork and harvester symbolize the quantity and quality of time, your proportion of eternity, what will you harvest? That's a good question, right? So anyways, this just kind of shows like basically where I get some of my info from. It's got the opened eye, the figure's nudity, warning barbarism. But like, I don't know, in my mind I see like creation and breeding and fertile like situations, a circle of life, bound to nakedness, which also could relate to authenticity and comfort, feeling comfortable in a connection as well. Snake ribbon, and I like that because being an all oneist, you know, that's sort of the symbol of that. Also the winding stair, that relates to art and Escher and stuff. It's the surreal symbol of evolution, DNA sequences, so a sign of personal development. So yeah, if like you want to get further into it, this also seems to sort of really like get into, you know, the whole everything that came out on those other cards that I talked about. The snake warns of dull desires and false instincts. Wisdom of learning through experience. The 4 elements are evangelists. Everyone possesses the power of the 4 elements. Pendulum and sickle, harvest. Again, polarities in life. The opened eye. The ribbon, the organ of equilibrium, so balance. The sketch, heritage and purpose in the world. And the world of the woman, feminine energy. Universe shows like the Empress, good old Mother Nature in a redeemed form. Pretty cool, right? For love and relationships. A woman stands in the middle of the picture of the universe. That means a man must recognize himself in the woman in order to understand the world, and the woman must recognize herself in the world in order to understand herself. So yeah. Card of the day, strengths. Strengths and purposes are now to step yourself up to center. For success and happiness in life, do not ask only what the universe would like to say. Look at what the universe has given you and what that has told you. So anyways, yeah, hope you have a really great evening, morning, whatever, wherever. Take it easy. Thanks for watching my video.